couple of ridges just there, just there. Can you see those? The thicknesser is not thicknessing in the manner I want it to. We'll have to see what we can do about that. If you use a lot of recycled timber or repurposed timber in your woodwork projects, you can run into the problem of contamination in your boards. And by that, what I mean is you might have nails or bits of nail, stones and gravel and other things stuck in the timber, and that can be a problem. If you don't properly check your timber beforehand, those bits that are stuck in there can cause damage to your equipment. Like you see there, I've obviously failed to check the piece of wood I put through at that particular time properly, and it's damaged the teeth.
G'day, mate.
Now, there's a few ways you can check your wood before you use it. Trust your eyes to see that you've got everything out, or you can do what I've done. I've bought myself one of these little metal detectors off, might have been Amazon or eBay or one of those. Not very expensive. They take a 9-volt battery, you know, the ones you put on your tongue, just for a bit of fun. Yeah, so you just wave them over your bits of timber after you think you've cleaned them up, and you'll detect any bits of any bits of metal that are stuck in the wood still that you can't quite see with the eye. If, like me, you've got a thickness planer that's got the helical head, which has got lots of little teeth, that's easy to fix because you've got 4 cutting sides to each tooth. I'll show you those in a moment. If you have the blade set up with the long blades, couple of long blades on the cutting head, then you're in a little bit more strife depending on how big the chip is in the blade. What I'm going to do now though is I'm going to take you over there to where my thickness planer is, and I'll have a good look around and see if we can find out which teeth had chipped, and then we'll fix that up.
A piece of wood with a nail in it. Neat.
Alright, so what I want to do now is go through the process of fixing up that damaged tooth in my thickness planer. Alright, the first part of the process is removing the dust port. To do that, I just got to remove these screws here. There's a thumb screw here, and there's another one on the other side, which I'll do. Yeah, before you start any of these maintenance operations on your equipment, make sure it's unplugged. What I need to do now, once I've got the dust poured off, is take off this cover here to expose the cutter blades inside. Now there's no need to remove this top cover to do this job, but I have, just for the sake of the fact that I've got big hands. It makes it much easier for me to get in, and not only that, it makes it a bit easier for you to see as well what I'm doing. I've also gone ahead and loosened these 4 screws that hold down the cover on the blades. If you can see, there's 4 small Allen head screws there. 4mm Allen key will do the job on them. Take it off, making sure not to lose the screws and the little washers. There you will see the cutter head. And there's a long line of, sorry if the camera's shaking a bit, a long line of cutters. Now, to turn the cutter head so that you can access the teeth, there's a small silver button. Where are you? There's a small silver button there which you'll need to depress in order to rotate the drum with the teeth on it. If I zoom out a bit, it'll give you a bit more of an idea of where it is located. Alright, it's on the right hand side of the machine, or left if you're looking at it from the rear. Now when you put that black cover on that I just took off, it actually depresses that button, which obviously allows the drum to spin. I'll give you a quick demo. So if I press that down with one hand, I can turn this with the other hand. I just want to reiterate that make sure the machine is turned off and unplugged before you try this job. Alright, so as I rotate this, you can see, actually you probably can't see, just give me a minute. Now as I depress that button, I will turn the cutting head, and you can see all the little 4-sided cutting blades that are attached. I did count them, I think there was 20 in 2 rows. Now what I have to do is go through both the rows of 20 and find the one that's damaged and that caused that bit of a ridge in the wood that I showed you before. I guess the best thing to do would be to turn them all while I'm here. And again, it's a simple task of just loosening each one and then turning it 90 degrees around so that a new face, or a new edge I should say, is facing forward. Using the tools supplied by Sherwood, we'll loosen each one, and you should be able to, without taking out the screw, lift it and turn it. Just make sure you've got the right angle. Yeah, perfect. Nicely done. And I'll just go through now and do them all, and I'll bring you back when I've done that.
Apparently not everyone is qualified to own wood and nails.
Now you've got the bonnet open, you might as well spend a bit of time just cleaning the inside of the machine. As you can see, there's a fair build up of dust in the areas that you can't normally access. Despite how good your dust extraction is, there's always that build up of dust. Anyway, I'll get on with that now. Just going to use a paintbrush, make the job nice and easy. Now you may recall the little switch I spoke about earlier. There's a part on the cover, on the cutter head cover here, which actually fits over there, and when you screw it down tight it actually pushes that button in. Okay, the next part I'm going to replace dust chute. Now incidentally, this can be put on either way, left or right, depending how you want to use it, depending on which way your dust extraction is, I guess. Alright, now I'm just going to put the bonnet back on, and I'll get on with that and I'll come back when that's done. Rightio, that's the thickness planer reassembled. Now I'll get that same piece of timber I put through earlier and see if those ridges disappear. Here's that piece of timber, you can see those ridges just there, hopefully you can. Just here. See if I can get a bit closer to the camera. See in there, one there, one there. And I've got a funny feeling. No, that's it. It's just those two. 1, 2. Actually, there's one there as well. 3. Now the test will be putting this same piece of wood back through there and seeing if those ridges have disappeared. All right, let's see what happens. PPE. Hope you can see that okay. Perfect. Just the way you want it. Nice and smooth. No ridges. Lovely. As I said to you before, I decided to rotate every tooth. I could have just identified the one that had the damage and rotated it, but I figured I might as well do the whole lot while I was there. It did take a little bit of time, but it saves me time in future. I think it does. Obviously, preventative measures taken before you put your wood through the machine is better than having to pull it apart to find the damaged teeth. Prevention is better than cure, or something like that.
So the story that's being shaped is that this could have been prevented.
Anyway, if you've got a different idea or some thoughts about tool maintenance as far as your thickness planer goes, just put them down in the comments and I'll have a read and we'll have a chat about that. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, you didn't. There's nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately, my shed is going to be, or fortunately, the shed is going to be pulled down, demolished and replaced over the next 2 months, starting on the 20th. So this will be the last video I put out from the bunker until it's replaced. I hope to do a time lapse of the demolition, concreting and then rebuild, and I'll put that up on the channel too. Well, that's going to be it for now. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.